talking about the Titans here. The Titans.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone! It is gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with Eric, Brendan, Dalt, and Ballpark Tommy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
Man, I was at the beach today. And it was such a peaceful day. I'm sitting there, shopping at the outlets. I'm with my family. We're sitting there shopping. I got the game on my phone as I'm walking around. And I keep getting score updates from the Real app saying that Jordan Romano is just absolutely terrible on the mound. Like, who in the Phillies organization decided to let little Dickie's twin brother pitch today? Because he just looked absolutely terrible. And I know I said this at the beginning of the season, and I said that, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to see how he did later in the season. And I'll say this, I have a lot to say about Romano, and I'll get into that in a few minutes. But what's up, everybody? Eric, also known as Shard, here with the 302 Birds Phillies post-game show. And what a win today, dude. Like, what a crappy win. Like, I get it. A win is a win, and, we should not take this for granted. But you're up. It was what, 11 to 4, right? Yeah, it was 11 to 4 going into the ninth, and there's no reason why you should have been that close. But getting into the pitching report, looking at the breakdown, we used a lot of bullpen arms today, and I don't know what's going on with Taijuan Walker. He was pulled after the fourth inning, and I haven't seen any reports. I'm going to look now just to double check, but he was pulled, and I don't know if it was injury or if it was precaution. It says he expects to be fine for his next start. Let me see. Taijuan Walker. He had some shoulder stiffness, it says. So, just probably pulling him as precaution. And, they were up by a decent amount after the fourth inning anyway. They were up by 7, and it was 7-1. So, it makes sense to pull him. But Taijuan Walker goes 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2.29 ERA. And I know for a fact that the Taijuan Walker Glazers are going to be in the comments on Twitter, just, glazing the hell out of Taijuan Walker and being like, oh, well, he looked great today and he didn't really let up any runs and he's back to his old self. It's the fucking Marlins. Literally, like, a 5-year-old could probably go out and pitch against the Marlins. Granted, Romano can't go out and pitch against them, but I would expect Taijuan Walker to be able to go out against a team that's this mid and go out there and pitch a gem. I wouldn't expect him to go out against the Dodgers and pitch like this, but I fully expect Taijuan Walker to go out against the Marlins, let up a run or two, and, have a dominant outing. I would have liked, though, for him to go out longer. I want to see him maybe go like 6-7 innings, which he really has not done yet this season. It's really hovered between that 5-6 inning pitched location. Really depends on how he's feeling and his arm. But, I mean, he did have a decent outing, so I'll give it to him. Strom gets the win, though. 1-0 on the season. Strom just looks so dominant, man. 1 inning pitched, 2 hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts, no home runs. But his ERA, that's really what I'm looking at. His ERA is a sub-1. It's a .96. Do you realize how gigantic that is for Strom, especially after last season? I mean, last season, Matt Strom was an all-star. And I really think that if he can continue to be this dominant outer out of the bullpen and keep putting up these numbers, he's going to be an all-star again this season. I do think, though, that the bullpen, to me, is really still a concern, especially after that showing today. After Strom, it was Hernandez. Hernandez sucks, too. 1 inning pitch, 3 hits, 3 earned runs. No walks, no strikeouts, 9 ERA. Hernandez, he sucks, too. Again, I really have concerns with this bullpen. I don't understand, and I'm curious to your guys' comments. So if you have an opinion, put it in the comment. But I really think that Rob Thomson needs to let these guys go more than 1 inning. I mean, Matt Strom, again, has a sub-1 ERA. He's not letting up hits. He's not letting up runs. I really do think that Rob Thomson and Caleb Cotham, they need to let these guys go more than 1 inning, especially if they're pitching lights out and they're pitching dominantly, because you're going to use up less of the bullpen like you did today. I mean, you used up 5 guys from the bullpen. You used Alvarado towards the end, which you really should not have had to use him. If Jordan Romano could do his goddamn job, Alvarado was not needed. Alvarado went in for 0.1 inning pitch. He went in for 1 batter, let up, I think, 1 or 2 pitches, and got the out. Again, if Jordan Romano could do his job, Alvarado would not have had to throw out 2 pitches today. So I'm hoping he's good to go for tomorrow. But looking at the rest of the lineup, Joe Ross went in for 2 innings pitched. Again, he went more than 1 inning. I don't know why they let him go. 3 hits, no runs, no earned runs, 7.45 ERA. He looked pretty decent today. And then Jordan Romano just absolutely could not get the job done. 0.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, 2 home runs, and his ERA is just gigantic to 15.26. Again, absolutely terrible outing from Jordan Romano. And that leads us into our next topic, that he's just my clown of the game. I just can't understand why Jordan Romano was left in after the first home run. After the first home run, the 3-run bomb, if I was Rob Thomson, I would have went out there and pulled him immediately. Rob Thomson has this problem where he lets pitchers go far too long, doesn't know when to pull, doesn't know when to start warming guys up. And we saw that today where Jordan Romano just absolutely imploded. He let up way too many runs, got way too close in the end there. The Marlins really had a chance to come back if Alvarado didn't get that last out. Luckily, they didn't, but I just can't defend Jordan Romano being on this team anymore. I can't defend him being in the bullpen. I can't understand why he was allowed to pitch as long as he was. And I will say this for a bit of a positive. I would have rather Jordan Romano come in with such a big lead. However, again, after he blew it with that 3-run home run, he should have been pulled. So he's my clown of the game. Honestly, everybody else I feel like did pretty decently other than Hernandez. I guess he could be another clown too. But offensively, I mean, everybody for the most part did pretty well. I mean, everybody got a hit, and that kind of leads us into our batting report. Everybody other than Castellanos got a hit. The offense looked completely just on fire today. The small ball was just driving in runs. There was no home runs, but they still scored 11. So again, this is what we've been talking about on this show for the past couple of days, where they really need to be able to do this against teams that are playoff teams, that are teams with dominant pitching. The Marlins, to me, they're just a scrub team. They're a AAA team, in my opinion. So you should be doing this against the Marlins. But I'd rather see them, we have the Mets coming up. I'd rather see them do this against the Mets, do this against the Braves, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants, like all these NL teams that are going to give them problems, like the Diamondbacks, right? I mean, if you watch the Diamondbacks versus Cubs game yesterday, there were grand slams from both sides, both the Cubs and the Diamondbacks. So the Phillies really need to continue to keep this up and continue to play this small ball. But going through the breakdown, Bryson Stott looked great today, had a couple great defensive plays as well. There was a ball that slipped past Joe Ross, and Bryson Stott was right behind him, picked up the ball and threw it right to first for the out. 3 hits at 5 at bats. He accounted for 2 runs. Bryson Stott had 3 RBI today, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and his average is now up. It's almost 300. It's a .294. Turner, he looked great today. I mean, he hit almost every time he was at the plate. 4 for 5, accounted for 2 runs. He had 2 RBIs himself. No walks, no strikeouts. Average is up to a .257. Bryce Harper, 1 for 4, accounted for 1 run, had 1 RBI, 1 walk. Average is .263. Sorber, 1 for 4, accounted for 1 run. He had an RBI himself. Like the entire top of the lineup just is full of RBIs. Sorber, 1 RBI, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. His average is also up to a .284. Castellanos, he didn't really look that great today. He did have an RBI, though. I believe it was a sac fly. 0 for 3, 1 RBI, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He's still batting above 300. He's at a .307. Kepler, I mean, I know I talked crap about Kepler last night. It seems like every time I talk crap about a player the night before, the next time they play, they do really well. Kepler, 2 for 5, 2 RBI, no walks, 2 strikeouts, .231 average. Real Muto is also batting that average. He was 2 for 5 today, no RBI, 1 strikeout. Bohm, he looked pretty decent today. Batting wise, 2 for 4. He accounted for 2 runs. His batting average is slowly increasing. It's still below 200, but it's .193. And then Rojas, man, Rojas looked great today. And I've said this from the beginning. I think Jack said this as well on the main show earlier in the season. But I really do think Johan Rojas, I keep getting caught up on Jordan Romano. I do think Johan Rojas is your center fielder, especially if he continues to bat the way he is currently. He was 3 for 5 today. He accounted for 3 runs. He had 1 RBI himself. He's batting above 300. He's batting .345. So I do think you keep Rojas in center field. And I'm sure that Rob Thompson is going to make the absolute bonehead move of sitting Johan Rojas tomorrow after he had this massive game today where he's hitting. But honestly, again, I think that you sit Brandon Marsh. He's batting below 100. He's not good. He, tweaked his ankle the other night in the outfield with that pass ball. And again, I just don't see why you play Brandon Marsh right now until he's ready. And if you do play Brandon Marsh, again, I don't think you should. If you do play him and he plays terrible again, that's it. You cut him off. You sit him. Because last time you said you were going to sit him, you said you were going to sit him 3 days. You sat him 1 game, and then you played him the next. So, Rob, I really need you to wake up and to see that he's just not the answer. He's not the answer. But overall, batting looked great today. Small ball really came into play, and they really need to keep this up. But getting into my star of the game, I think it's Bryson Stott. again, he had 3 RBI today, most on the team. He was 3 for 5. He had some great defensive plays today. I really do think that if he can keep it up, he will be a Gold Glover this year. Again, I mean, he had that really great defensive play behind Joe Ross. The batter hit almost a single, and Bryson Stott was right there to scoop it up and throw it to first for the out. So I do think that Bryson Stott is my star of the game. But honestly, I would probably say that this whole team offensively, they're all stars. I mean, I think that, again, this is one of those games that show that the Phillies are capable of waiting on pitches, of putting the ball in play, of driving runners in scoring position. So I know I keep talking in circles. I get it, but they need to keep doing this against teams that are going to give them issues in the long run. But that's really all I have main topic-wise. Looking ahead, though, to the rest of this series, they go for the S word tomorrow. I'm not going to say it because every time I say it, they never do it. So they're going for they already won the series. They're going for the S word tomorrow. Again, I'm not going to say it because every time I do, they never seem to do it. But tomorrow on the mound, it's Jesus Luzardo against his former team. So this is going to be a revenge game for him. So I'm expecting Jesus Luzardo to go out there and pitch lights out against a team that just did not have any faith in him and let him go. So Jesus Luzardo on the mound for the Phillies, left-handed pitcher, 2-0 on the season, 2.31 ERA with 29 strikeouts. He should be absolutely lights out. The kid has looked amazing in every start that he's had. And I'm expecting a big game from him tomorrow. For the Marlins, it's Connor Gillespie, right-handed pitcher, 0-2 on the season, 6.63 ERA with 18 strikeouts. So you know what that means. No wins on the season means that the Phillies are going to be absolute terrible at the plate because we're going to make him look like a Cy Young. But after that, it is the Mets series. To start off the Mets series on Monday at 7:10, it'll be Aaron Nola, God help us, against Tyler McGill. So we'll see what happens with that Mets series. I mean, Francisco Lindor looked great. I think it was last night he hit that walk-off home run. So the Mets are a really great team. I'm not going to take that away from them. I'm really curious to see how the Phillies can handle that, especially at Citi Field. It can be a really hostile environment, especially with Mets fans. Again, I'm not saying Mets fans are bad or anything. It's just you guys have a hostile environment. So I'm curious to see how the Phillies handle that. And honestly, I'm curious to see if the Phillies are holding any grudges from the way that last season ended and holding any revenge for the Mets knocking them out of the playoffs last year, which I feel like is a very valid thing. But again, we'll see. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. Phillies win 11-10. Very close win, very close game. Jordan Romano, if you're watching this, if somebody shows you this, buddy, you need to be DFA'd. And I really hope that you go because you're just not needed here anymore. But we'll see you guys back here tomorrow, Sunday. Tomorrow is Easter, so we'll see you back here tomorrow at 1:35 for a post-game show. On that note, everybody have a good night, and we'll see you later.
The Vikings.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone! It's gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.